So Nancy Pelosi and many other Democrats are now criticizing Republicans for taking credit for the infrastructure spending. Lawmakers have also just agreed to throw in 3 new Social Security changes that will take effect this year. So there is a ton of information about the 4th stimulus payments, folks, that you want to know. So you want to be sure to stay until the end of this video to find out the latest stimulus news.
Carrie Job, you have the voice of an angel, kid. I tell you what, you really do. And that guy sitting next to you, he's a lucky guy. Majority Leader Schumer, Mitch McConnell. Mitch, I don't want to hurt your reputation, but we really are friends. and that is not an epiphany we're having here at the moment.
Now remember, folks, the whole goal of this channel is to provide you with the most up-to-date and reliable stimulus check information. I want to do my very best in providing you folks with the stimulus news, so be sure you watch until the end. So everybody, the 3rd stimulus check was sent out to eligible Americans starting back in March of 2021. So now the IRS is saying this: they have now sent out all qualified payments, and they say some families may still be leaving money on the table. The IRS has announced that parents or a child born or added to the family in 2021 is going to be eligible to receive some $1,400 stimulus check, but you are entitled to receive it if you apply for it. The IRS recently started sending out explanatory letters to those who did receive the 3rd payment, which breaks down how much you've gotten and whether you can qualify for more. However, for those who didn't receive a payment this year, there's still a way to go. All you have to do is look at the following questions. Is there a new child in the family, and did the family income change drastically? If the answer is yes to any of these questions, then good thing is that you qualify for it. The IRS has reported that it sent out 175 million 3rd round payments last year, which totaled more than $400 billion. For those who received the child tax credit payments last year as well, a separate letter is also being sent out to those families as well. The recovery rebate credit must also be filed as part of your 2021 tax return. And the IRS made clear that they would calculate the rebate for you. Now here's some big news for Social Security beneficiaries. Well, it has been reported that the Social Security Trust Fund that most people rely on for their retirement is going to run out of money in just 12 years. That's 1 year sooner than the expected lookout. So, aggravated by the crisis, it also threatens to shrink retirement payments and increase healthcare costs for older Americans. The Treasury Department oversees 2 Social Security funds, the Old Age and Survivors Insurance, and also the Disability Insurance Trust Fund.
I'm honored to join you all today. You know, we're keeping our prayers for Senator Lujan, and keep him in your prayers today. I think, from what I understand, he's going to be okay and be back with us in not too distant future, but we pray for safe recovery.
In the entirety, the funds act as pillars upholding the retirement plans of tens of millions of Americans, the current and future ones. Americans have for decades come to assume that the programs they spent years contributing to in payroll taxes would in turn provide for them. But the truth is that Social Security's cost, in the form of monthly payments to retirees, now exceeds the income it takes from the U.S. workers, projected to soon consistently operate in the red. The program's reserves funds would be depleted around 2033. That's if Congress doesn't do something about this. Social Security law would also cut benefit checks for retirees by about 20% across the board. For a demographic that is planning on those payments and usually has few other avenues of income, a 20% reduction could prove to be disastrous and also threaten how many Americans fall into poverty. But the good news, everyone, is that there already have been proposed plans to solve the issue. Social Security 2100 is a sacred trust, a new plan that has been proposed by Democratic Representative John Larson. The new Social Security 2100 Act includes a host of provisions aimed at increasing benefits while adding more revenue through additional taxes on the wealthy. The bill would also not include ideas like raising the retirement age, which Larson and other advocates oppose. It would provide a benefit increase for new and current beneficiaries, amounting to about 2% of the average benefit. So tell me in the comments below, do you think the Social Security 2100 Act is a good idea? Now, folks, what do you think about President Biden, and do you think he can get a job done with the stimulus checks?
2,000. Non-electric car, 1,000. But the absence of chips is hindering our manufacturing of cars. We need more chips, and we need them to be made in America. They are the lifeblood of modern technology, but increasingly being made abroad, again, sometimes in countries of concern, leaving us vulnerable on supply chain issues, and that makes cost higher and contributes to inflation. We are bringing production back. So that's $52 billion chips, semiconductors. Secondly, the CHIPS Act invests $45 billion to support manufacture and acquisition of critical goods or industrial equipment essential for our national security. And I'm going to read you this from here and hope that you would read this. It authorizes $45 billion for grants, loans, and loan guarantees to support supply chain resilience and manufacturing of critical goods, industrial equipment, as I say, and manufacturing technology. This is how it relates to our economy and our families. Supports the manufacturing or equipment acquisition of critical goods or industrial equipment that are essential for the national security and economic vitality. Critical goods include key components and products for public health, biological preparedness, information and communications technologies, energy and transportation sector industrial base, and agricultural commodities and food product supply chains. This is a magnificent piece of work, and I'm very eager. I'm very proud of the support it has had, as I said, in a bipartisan way. I don't know what that would be in the votes. So I've told you something about that. I can talk more about it if you want. But we must continue to reduce our dependence on goods made in other countries, especially countries of concern, and bring production back home. Said one was the $52 billion for chips. The second was $45 billion for the supply chain. Third, and this is not about money, but with the bipartisan bills that are contained in this, we are advancing U.S. scientific research and innovation excellence to ensure that we lead the technologies of the future. And fourth, we're positioning U.S. interests and values to win on the world stage, holding the People's Republic of China accountable for using slave labor, which is a human rights issue and hurts U.S. workers. Okay, so again, more American goods made here at home lowers costs and strengthens supply chains for America, ensures that America, not the People's Republic of China, writes the rules of the road for the 21st century. Speaking of the People's Republic of China, before I came here, and that's why I'm a few minutes late, I testified at and then listened to the testimony at the Congressional Executive Commission on China hearing.